Coach, the rain is falling, the fans are soaked, but here's the bottom line. We've got football at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Baltimore Ravens. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Focus, defense, focus. Wide, get wide.
Running it with the NFL's Offensive Rookie of the Year a season ago, Saquon Barkley. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it is going to be 15 yards.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. After the penalty, they go with Barkley. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 12 yards to pick up there. Good for a Raven first.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Watson on first down. And he fires one that's intercepted. Devondre Campbell, the linebacker, picks him. The 20, 10, and he will bring it back. It's a pick six for a Bengals TD. And the defense could not have written a much better script than that first drive, pick six.
The offense never got a chance to really get oiled up there, did they? But the defense, they certainly got in gear. What a big-time play and a great way for them to start.
And now the offense, they've got to turn things around and figure this out because your backs are on the ground real quickly.
Yeah, usually when you're starting the game getting the ball, 0-0 is the only score you're worried about. Now the second time you get it, you're already down a touchdown.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And last time, decent field position through the pick six. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So the last one didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position and not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. In on the tackle, Devondre Campbell, Falcons' leading tackler in 2018. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Here we go, 37's the Mike. Mike 37. All day, baby, all day.
A shotgun snap for Watson. Going deep downfield for Ross. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
Mike. Ready. Yellow lady. 59. Over.
The former Purdue Boilermaker, Raheem Mostert, slipped one tackle but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. And the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14.
Switch. 12.
On play action, now Breeze. This complete to Jones. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. That gain of 15 gets him on the doorstep, 1st and goal. Breeze now. He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. No gain on the screen there. It's 2nd down. They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal. Breeze now to throw. He shakes him off. Buying time to his left. And he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack. Jabal Sheard wreaking the defensive havoc.
Ready.
Here's 3rd and goal now, back at the 11.
Here we go, D. All day, defense.
Shotgun now for Breeze. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Miles Jack.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. It's Barkley on the counter. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. That one good for 13 and a Raven 1st down. First red zone chance now for the Ravens. 1st and 10 right at the 20. Now it's Barkley. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. A minimal gain as we tick down inside of a minute remaining in the opening quarter.
Mike 51. Check. 51 to Mike. 51 to Mike.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Watson. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Coverage was very good that time. A nice job to smother him as the ball arrived, and that ensured an incomplete pass.
And it keeps 6 points off the board. Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So they'll come away with nothing here. A disappointing result even on a day like this.
And as a kicker in the rain, you've got to slow things down a little bit. Give your holder an extra half-second to make sure everything's secure. And here, he might have rushed this one a little, and it winds up no good.
And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Ready. 5-9. Kill.
They fake the give. Here's Breeze. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
It's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker, because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Dancing to his left. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. Derek Barnett able to maneuver in for the sack.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long, why are you calling play action?
Because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. but to me it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play-action sack. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense. Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative. But you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
On third down, Watson going deep downfield, and that's caught inside the 30. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. John Ross, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. And it's no good. He misses the extra point, and this remains a 7-6 game. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off.
The Bengals take over first and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Now Mostert. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. They call that a loss of 6 yards. And it's third down now. The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on third. From the gun, it's Breeze. And this is going to be incomplete. Problems on third down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on third down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get the third down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on first and second down. That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And he's upended at the 6 as they double their room to maneuver on a pickup of 3. A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes. And an alley to run. And he takes this just about a yard shy of the 20. Now after that last play, there's a Bengal down on the field. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. So a much rosier picture now after that last play. Here's first and 10 at the 19-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 5 on the keeper. It's second down.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Now this pass into the hands of Saquon Barkley. Call it a gain of 3. And all of a sudden here, it's third down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
They'll try to run for it with Barkley. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. 2 yards and able to get the first down in the process. On first and 10, Watson And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line.
And that's now the second time he's picked off a pass here in the first half alone. Again, another great read defensively. And you just see him get in the right position to make the play and get his guys the football back.
He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending the guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dash.
And it'll be intercepted. Picked up by Jonathan Jones. You don't see this often. A quarterback of his caliber, 2 first-half interceptions.
It's absolutely surprising because it happens so rarely. You're searching for what reason, what's going on out there. It's not just maybe the defense is playing well. Is his horoscope off? His biorhythms? What is it?
You went horoscope on us, David.
Well, I was thinking maybe REM sleep was off. I'm trying to come up with something.
Anything, right? After the interception, here's Watson. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. 25 yards that time. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. He's got a first down and then some inside the 40. That's now a pair of explosive plays in succession, both north of 20 yards.
And that was a nice, strong run by the guy they call the field general.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Check 52. Hey, check 24. Watch 24.
A handoff to Barkley. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And down inside the 15 he goes. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. From the red zone now, Watson. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
And when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
And good pressure defensively to stop him for a loss of a couple. Now there's also a flag to go with it. Now they face a second and long following the holding penalty. Out of the gun, Watson. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Brandon Carr. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. The Bengals drive about to get going. You're under 30 seconds to go. Field position not great. Time to call it a half, wouldn't you say?
Well, you know we all have that little extra gene that says let's push the envelope a little bit, right? What needs to be going through the play caller's mind right now, a potential fumbled snap that can get returned, a strip sack that can get returned, right? Any of those types of plays, that should be a deterrent to calling something that could get you in big trouble.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They'll keep it on the ground again here. And the defense obviously expecting run as well, as they're going to shut that one down at the line of scrimmage. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. Now a play fake. Breeze. Looking downfield for Jones. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go. Here's Thomas Morstead now, as he's on to punt for... Cincinnati. Here's Thomas Morstead now as he's on to punt for Cincinnati. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Ross on the return. So a very tight first half. We had to break in a one-point game. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. This is taken at his 4. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line.
Their own 29-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ballgame.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Now Breeze. And the pressure gets to Breeze as he's taken down. Xavier Williams in there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to 4th down. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Now here's Ross. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Now on 2nd and 13, Watson. Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it, and the Bengals grab it. And they will finally stop him, but a great return. Gets that football all the way down to the 16-yard line. And maybe that one caused by the weather. Of course, the rain coming down. Charles, can you maybe, when you're carrying that football, grip it too tight in the rain?
I think that you can, and it's such a delicate balance, too, because when you grip it so tight, sometimes it'll slip out from your body. You squeeze it too hard, and it'll pop out on its own. I've actually had running backs talk to me about that when they've tried too hard, even in perfect conditions, the ball gets away from them. They've got to find a good balance, carrying it firmly, yet at the same time under control.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that's going to lead to a 3rd down. Mostert. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down at a yard. Again, they'll run it with Mostert. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. Raheem Mostert, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bengals use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 20. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
You always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
On 2nd and 11 now. Watson. Flush to his right. Deshaun Watson, so multi-dimensional, able to scramble for the first.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit, because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw, so maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
No gain there as he kept it himself at 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 43-yard line.
Check 24, check 24. Watch safety creep, watch safety.
They'll try the air now with Watson. Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though,
oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Cameron Hayward attacking off the edge that time. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
We'll call that a 43-yard punt, 2 on the return. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. The Bengals drive about to get going, and they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Back now in Baltimore. It's the Bengals in possession of the football and in possession of the lead as well as we start the 4th. Here's Mostert. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead them to 3rd down. And Bengals on 3rd down. They're struggling. 0 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 7.
Hey, easy. Hey, 25 to Mike. We're going 25 to Mike. And we're pretty quiet, D. We're pretty quiet. Hey, break it down, fellas. Break it down. Dude. Hey, easy. Motion to backfield. Motion to the backfield.
Now Breeze. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it. But it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
44-yard punt, return of 9. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going, and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win 1st down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating 1st downs, and that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at their 48-yard line.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Don't get nervous now. We ain't beginning to tear you up. Don't get nervous.
Watson now to throw. Forced out to his left. He's got the 1st down and more inside the 40. A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A 1st down, a 16-yard gain.
How many times have we seen this late in the 4th quarter? Because you know the pass rush is getting after him, and they get upfield, get that great push, and what do they create? Space, and he takes off.
And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. A loss of 2 there, second down.
Excellent play there by P.J. Hall, creating a little bit of rubble and stuffing the run, but don't go to sleep on him in terms of being a pass rusher. Has excellent explosive tendencies to work inside. Blocked 14 kicks in his college career, so he knows how to get through the hole and get upfield.
On 2nd and 12, Watson. He gets it to Cooks. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 20-yard line.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line.
And on this play, the read for the quarterback was the defensive end, and he was totally focused on the quarterback. He should have given it off inside to the running back. Instead, he kept it and ended up taking a loss on the play.
Now on 2nd and 13, Watson will get this out to Barkley complete. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that'll make it 3rd down. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They face a critical 3rd down now, needing a score here in the late going. They'll look to throw. This is caught, and he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. I tell you, it has not been his best day throwing the football. He really needs to piece something together here.
All will be forgiven if he leads them into the end zone.
Watson now to throw. Got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown. Eric Ebron, his first touchdown on the year, as they now sit just a 2-point conversion away from tying this game up in the 4th quarter. Here we go now as we get set for a big 2-point conversion. Watson. And it's caught. And with it, we are tied here in the 4th. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Bengals drive about to get going. They've got work to do, but they do still have a bit of time here.
And they've got to feel comfortable with that, but they have all their play sequences called. If they get out of bounds, that allows them to huddle and call another play, but if they don't, it's hurry up to the line of scrimmage and either spike it and stop the clock or continue to move it downfield in order to try and get in range and win this game.
See if they can do just that. Now Breeze. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Miles Jack. And he'll take it across midfield and down to the 48-yard line. So how about that for a momentum switch?
We're in the 4th quarter, and it's a tie game. You've got to take care of the football here. Now their opportunity to take the lead right out the window, and everything is flipped in the other direction.
Check 3, check 3. Hey, 59. Hey, 31.
Now Watson. And this is going to be intercepted. Devondre Campbell, the linebacker, picks it. And he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. This is Mostert. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays. but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
Ready?
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
I'm coming.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. And Justin Coleman brings him down.
All right, my man, this is now where it's risk-reward. Because on defense, you've got to crowd the line of scrimmage. You've got to get in all the gaps, get up tight on everyone, and try and force the field goal attempt here. You can't let them break one big, but you know something, when you crowd the line of scrimmage, if they do pop one, it's going to go a long way.
Yeah, I was going to say, could take it to the house, but the magnitude of this possible upcoming field goal, every yard counts. And off the crossbar, and it kicks back out. Needed maybe a foot or two, but it's no good as it stands. And a costly one there as this game remains tied here in the 4th. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They have a little bit of time here to get into field goal range. Not much. A tie game, you don't want to do anything crazy, right?
I agree with you on that one. Risk-reward, okay? If you go for it, what is the absolute reward on this? But the risk is probably greater. Run the clock out, get to overtime, and try and win it there.
All right, we'll see if they do just that. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Now it's Watson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Final whistle blows, and we need some extra time here to decide who will be the victor.
60 minutes, just not enough some days to decide who's going to win the game.
And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
As we said, they control their own destiny now. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. First throw in OT for Watson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Okay, was it a breakdown in protection? Did the running back not pick him up? What does it really matter? Sometimes it's just a great play made by the defense. Big-time sack.
Gonna need something special here on 3rd and long. After that sack, what does Watson have in his arsenal? From the gun, here's Watson. He's gonna loft one, deep left side here. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Brandon Carr on the coverage there. Well, their defense did its job. Now they're going to get the football with a chance to win it.
And it feels like they ran out on the field, and right before they did, they told the offense, don't worry about this. We got you. Okay, we've got the situation under control. We'll get it back for you for a chance to win the game, and boy, they did it well.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Bengals drive about to get going. Their defense did its job, got the stop. All they need is 3, and this is over.
Couldn't have done much else other than score themselves and end it, but they turned it back over to them, and now all they need is a field goal to win the game. An excellent job by the defense. Can the offense finish things off?
Part 1 is done, now part 2. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40.
Ready? 5-9.
On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
He's going to air one out, and that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So the contact came before the ball got there, and the flag is thrown.
Timing is everything, isn't it? And it's so hard to cover these great receivers. They have such great body control, and they can fake you out. In this case, as you described, got there before the ball got to the receiver. Penalty flag had to come out.
They'll run with Sanders. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Good yardage on 1st down. Now can they punch it in on 2nd and goal? They'll try to run with Sanders. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. All right, well, they didn't kick it on 2nd down. Now 3rd and goal. You have to kick it here.
Absolutely have to kick it, because if you get a bad snap, you fall on it, you got a chance to kick it again on 4th down. Let's say it gets blocked and it's behind the line of scrimmage. You fall on it. You get another chance at it. Give yourself that option. Give yourself that opening.
That'll bring up 4th. They had the 8-yard gain on 1st down, but unable to do much from there. And he got it. The kick is good. In overtime, he's able to split the uprights. Well, we thought this game would be a good one. It did not disappoint into overtime, and it took the field goal to win it.
And we always pay lip service to how important it is to play defense. And usually we focus on the big offensive pyrotechnics, right? But in this case, they got the ball back on defense, gave themselves a chance, and they capitalized on it with a victory.
And I don't care what distance that field goes from in overtime. The knees are always knocking, but he pushed it through.
Not only that, think about your snapper, your holder. A lot of nerves for them, too, because they have to do their job in order to give him one last chance to put a foot to it.
So for the Bengals, their strong start to the year continues as they're up to 5-1. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Ravens, they can't quite seem to turn things around as they fall into 2-4 now on the year. And they'll be on the road next week as they get a date with the Seahawks in Seattle. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.